In this video, I'm going to bring you with me on the walk that I do to show you how I make sure that my feet are great and my fingers are great, my elbows are great, and I build strength all on this one walk. Come with me and I'll show you what I do. So first of all, I'll make sure I have a hat on because here in Australia, we have a brutal UV index and it's still warm enough for me to ensure that I have a hat. I normally have a bigger broad brimmed hat. You won't be able to see my face when I wear that big hat. So I've got sunscreen on to protect my face for our little walk here. And if you're on methotrexate, this really increases your sensitivity to sunlight. So ensure that you wear sunscreen when you're out in the sun if you are on methotrexate. Now, this is a barefoot walk, but I'm wearing flip-flops at the moment because although I can walk on concrete and tarmac without shoes on, I notice if I do it too much, my feet do become a little more sensitive. So before we've even gotten to the walk here, this is where we're going on this beautiful green park, before we get to that, I actually stop at this point right here and I do my first exercise. And there is a bar here that I'll need to adjust to show you. This bar is going to be used for me to do some just some hand exercises basically. So let me set this up. The purpose of this exercise is not to build strength in my back or shoulders or anything. The purpose of this is to have a engaged hand because several times a day, I want my hands to demonstrate their purpose in life, which is to grip stuff. And I want a good grip strength. Notice that the bar has a large diameter. If you've got sore, inflamed fingers and hands, then make sure that you use a wide diameter. Never try to grip something that is smaller than the comfortable limit of your fingers in terms of grip strength. So what I've demonstrated here is a nice wide diameter so that it applies no problem to the joints, but has intense and wonderful engagement of the fingers. Okay, so I've started with that overhand grip, and this is excellent for waking up my hands and as a priority, build grip strength, right? So what you'll find is that the stronger your hands are, the less the joints hurt. So in all the coaching that I do with people, working with them, it's about building grip strength because grip strength correlates with your length of life, your longevity. Grip strength also is an indicator of bone mineral density. There's an association there. And it's like a window into the quality of health of the body. So we must have excellent grip strength. So, the hands have to earn their place to deserve resources, blood flow, and tendon development, strength. And so we ask them to do a lot each day, or at least for a short period, so that they maintain the level of quality that we need of them, and they will then continue to serve us. In the case of rheumatoid arthritis, it's not, if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use it a lot, you lose it, okay? So keep that in mind. I've kicked off the shoes, so I'm walking barefoot now. Let me flip this around for you, and you'll see that what we have is a beautiful big stretch of grass that extends and extends and extends. The round trip is a little over 1 kilometer to walk one end to the other. The feet need to go through a range of motion. The feet are designed to move in a barefoot manner, all right? We're not biologically evolved with shoes on. That's only something that, we've invented to protect our feet. But when you're out here on the soft grass, the feet aren't under risk of getting irritated by sharp objects and so on. So we get out on the soft grass. Now, some people ask me, what about What about the beach? Can we use the beach? And the unfortunate answer is no, because a lot of people simultaneously have ankle problems as well. So when you're walking on sand at the beach, there's two things. One is that it's very, very unstable on the soft sand. And so when you're out on that soft sand, you can put a lot of pressure into your ankles at angles that are not what we want until we've resolved the inflammation. So that's number one. And number two, parts of the beach sand, especially near where the water joins, can be very hard as well. And so we don't want to necessarily be walking on hard surfaces barefoot as our rejuvenation therapy, right? We want to use soft surfaces to get the range of motion through those joints and get them feeling better. So the go-to for the feet is always to protect them during the day. So don't irritate them, wear comfortable shoes, and then once a day, make sure that you do the physical therapy on them, which is to get them through range and get them out onto soft grass. If you can't do that, do some stretches. There's a thing called the alphabet you can do with a soft towel on the ground, and you can scrunch your toes around and move the towel through by forming the shapes of the alphabet, things like that. So there's things you can do, but you've got to get those feet moving. Okay, so normally by now I'm doing finger flicks, and I've been so busy talking with you, I haven't done them. But that's half the purpose of being out here. So let me find a place to put you down, and then I'll show you again what these look like, and you can then form the better picture of what it is we're actually trying to achieve. These movements for the hands are really, really good to get some repetitions through the fingers without loading them. So the exercise that I'm about to show you, called the finger flicks, I originally developed, and I used to call elbow pumps because they're brilliant for the elbows. And I used to do these on cruise ships because I'd go on cruise ships and my elbows would get worse. And I developed this simple thing that you can do anywhere, and this actually helped my elbows so much, and I noticed my fingers are improving too. So across our community, this is called the finger flicks, and it's very helpful for your fingers, and you don't engage them. So it's as simple as doing this exercise like this, and we're just flicking the fingers as if it is a wet squid, and we're trying to get the liquid or wetness off of the squid. So start by doing 100 of these, and then wait 2 or 3 hours and see how your fingers feel. If your fingers do not feel worse, then do another 100, and so on. So what I do is I do 1,000 of them in a round trip, and then if I don't go to the gym that day, I walk again and I do another 1,000 on the exact same lap that I'm showing you right now. So when you're doing them, the only risk that you'll have is if your wrist is inflamed and you get into an angle and you're doing lots of flicks at this angle. So if you've got bad wrists, then keep the wrists straight when you exercise always, okay? And you want to just go straight up and down with straight wrists. But if your wrists are fine, then you can become more comfortable and you can do this as you walk, all right? So right now, normally I've already done nearly 700 or 600 or so before I get to my next point, which is the tree. So I'll take you there now. We're right at the end of the park now, and there's a fence here and a tree that I like to hang from. There is a never-ending desire for me to build more strength. So my philosophy, based on 18 years of rheumatoid and my understanding around the science, is the stronger you are, the less problems you have with RA. There's less inflammation, the less progression, the better, most amazing your joints feel, and so on. And so what I've been doing just over the last few weeks is practicing an ability to hang from one arm for as long as I can. My left arm at the moment is not as good as my right. See how we go today. So I've got my finger flicks in, I've done my one arm hanging. There's only one thing left to do, which is as I walk out past that same perimeter bar, I get under again and I do a underhand grip. And this just helps to balance out everything. And I also find that, it's just a little nicer on the shoulders. So if you have shoulder problems, experiment with each of these grips. Of course, you don't have to do that particular bar style. The message is that putting body weight through what I call a survival grip, a grip that needs to hang on to stop the body falling or to let go of something. That survival grip is the ultimate form of grip to improve your fingers, as opposed to just trying to squeeze something. So in our materials, the curriculum we have, we don't use squeeze balls. We start out with a form of cylindrical object that is wide in diameter, but we want to be getting from that squeeze type grip into a survival grip. Even if that survival grip is just hanging on to a cable and then trying to pull that cable towards you, your grip is holding on to the handle to prevent it from flinging backwards. So we want to get these grip activities going throughout the day. And now at the end of this walk, which in total only takes normally about 12 to 15 minutes, I check for my flip-flops that make sure they're not stolen. They only got taken once, ever. I've been doing this for many years. One time they were stolen, or maybe picked up by mistake, I don't know. But they're here, so I put these back on, and we call them thongs here in Australia, which I don't use on this video for you, just so you don't get confused with a form of underwear and mess up the whole message here. So I'm going to go back over here, do my underhand grip here on the bar, and then I'll walk back to the house and I'll wash off my feet and get back to work. So thanks for sharing this time with me on my beautiful walk. It's a gorgeous space, and so if you can find a place near you that has a park like this, that has soft grass, that will enable you to get out and walk barefoot for a period of time, do it. It's like absolutely powerful. And when you're out walking, sure, you're counting some of your finger flicks and so on, but the main thing is the experience of connecting with nature, getting out barefoot, getting those fingers moving, building some grip strength, and something I haven't mentioned but very important, do it alone, because the feeling of letting go and mental health aspects are just as important. And so I get back to my house with just a freshness, a lightness, some clarity, some insights, and it's a wonderful way to reset. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video.